This video we'll be talking about lighting, lots of lighting. We're going to be going a little bit about player movement and script if you're making a spaceship game, and that's your value proposition. I hope you enjoyed that. I am Zon, the Dad Devos, who by the moniker Title Pending, and as you can see, tick, 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 the clock is ticking. I've got work still, a life. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm going to darn well try. And remember, I'm doing 2 game jams related to this project, so let's see what happens. Without further ado, let's get into lighting. And then we'll jump into player movement for a spaceship game. So here we go. I'm also going to put a link at the end of this video to Nathan's, the GDScript's whole thing. He did a much more in-depth, regular lighting background. But for me, what I am doing right now is I am working on making lighting. As you can see, all these lights. I'm making it so that is on the player. Our game is a spaceship game right there. And we are going to be, I want to be, at least as I'm making this right now at this point, I want to make sure that these things are lit, these objects. Also, a shout out to Pixelator. I've got to buy the real program, not just the cheap program. And a little bit of a side, why am I talking about Pixelator? Well, Pixelator is smart. I don't think it's deep learning, but is a smart machine that can actually, a smart program that can turn your backgrounds into pixelated images. Plopsis, forgive me, but I pixelated the background image so it just loads better. And I'm also going with GLES 2 because GLES 2 is just a lot more stable. And I'm saying it's a lot more stable from Juan's last official State of Godot update, where he talked about how GLES 2 was actually not as powerful, but a lot more worked on, or a lot more developed. Him and the team. I can't remember the other guy. Forgive me, other guy, if you're watching this. So anyway, looking at this right here, I've set up my lights. I know something interesting about lighting right off the bat. If you click here and you change your lighting, it doesn't change crud. I don't know why. But if you turn these things like up and down, left and right, hey, you, off. Okay, you actually change these. This will actually change the color. It should, there you go. Now we change the color. Now you're probably wondering, why am I changing the lights here? Well, the reason why I'm doing this is that way there is more of a little brighter. There's more of a color effect when this is actually broadcasted. I think we'll just go that far. When this is actually broadcasted on the shapes, and that should create some interesting dynamic lighting. I don't know if the dynamic lighting is the key term here. Again, let's see. So again, like clicking here, I guess you have to click here actually. Red and green, that's a bit much. I'll go blue. Maybe, oh no, shoot, I'll just go with the purple here. Okay, all right. And yeah, that works. Okay, that should change the lighting altogether. Now, not super lighting, but basically give it some different colors and hues. I'm gonna save everything to scene, save all scenes, and you'll see how the lighting actually works. If I can press the play button. Okay, cool, right? So now I've got different lighting effects. Now unfortunately, I can't show you what the controls are. I will be talking about in a little bit, but let me just continue with lighting in general. Luckily, I've been experimenting with another 3D program for lighting, so this all works out. The other thing is I've actually added one more light here. This is more of a soft light, and forgive me, I'm not the best in my lighting terms. So this big omni light will kind of cast over. I don't know how big to make it. There you go. And it's not going to be fully engulfing, okay? And part of the gameplay, it's going to be annoying. I'm going to probably have to set an invisible boundary, best I can do, is you're basically going through space and you're going to just basically try to find these objects. That's why I'm testing these targets here. Okay, so one more time, let's play it just to show you. Okay, and again, I wish I could show you how to move me moving around back and forth, but I just don't have that. The other thing too is I've made a soft light here. And if I was smart, I could probably use programming and scripting. This light here is a light for, for the engine, basically. I've made it specular, diffuse. Let's make the energy 0.75, just to make it a little brighter. There we go. And then we'll see how annoying that is. Again, this is supposed to create the engine. That works pretty good. Okay, all right. Now, the other thing you want to note is that this entire ship is made completely out of mesh instances. And the reason I made the ship out of mesh instances was to avoid, in case I port this to others, or if I let people just use this, this means that anyone can just open it up and they don't have to deal with any exported files like DAEs or GTLFs or whatever that is. I've noticed that going from one project to the next with certain file types like DAEs, that it's really hard to manipulate and may cause some issues. So to make this issue free, I've actually made the entire ship out of stuff you can make in Godot. I don't know if that's good or bad. Pat me on the back later. It could be kind of nice. Let me check the time for this video. Are we doing pretty good? We are. All right. Okay, so let me get into some of the coding really quick. Now, I got to give a shout out to where shout out is due. In the Godot WoW Jam itself, I actually asked some really good questions about help. And I was a little, I tell you, I'm always afraid to ask questions. So, because you can always get a no, but you have to ask anyway. And thank you so much for giving the answers. That's John Gabriel UK. He's been in the Godot WoW Jam, I think, since the beginning. Golden has been around for a bit. I believe he is. I'm sorry, I don't remember Golden so much. But Golden is Golden because Golden gave me all the programming coding with what he's doing, which is really cool. And John Gabriel UK also gave me some great coding and program that I need to implement. Now, what these things are, these two things here, is basically what it'll do is it'll make the camera, it'll make the player move in the direction of the camera. So we'll get more of a spaceship type of movement, which is really cool. And this is why I've been trying to work with 3D for a while. We'll see where this goes, okay? All right, having said all that, we've gone over the coding. We've gone over all this stuff. I think that's all that needs to be said. I am hoping, oh, you can see my other video related to the black hole, as this will be related to the entire loop. And again, just gameplay elements, just to reiterate, is basically you're going to be trying to find these shapes within a certain time before a black hole pops up and engulfs you. Feel free, you know what I'll do? Let me end the video here. Feel free to look at the code. I'm actually going to just copy and paste these code snippets in the YouTube video. So if you click on the link, I'm not trying to give you clickbait, but if you open this up in YouTube, you'll see the code there. If not, oh, and also I'll put a link, if you're not watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link to this video down below. I'll put the link to the video, put a link to this Discord down below. Okay, I hope I can make this, so I've got to get going. I got to do some work stuff. Insert catchy phrase here. I hope whatever you're doing is amazing. If you got projects, questions, you know what to do, put a link below. And if, if you would like to hit the like button or subscribe button, that would be appreciated. I got to get going. Bye-bye. It's under 8 minutes. See you in the next one.